My sophomore year of college, I was dorming with a couple of guys. My one suite mate, John, was a former football player and a pretty cool guy. We played 2K all the time. Then there was Chris, who was a party animal. He was at every party. And then there was Dave, who didn't put up with our shit. The entire time of living with him, I didn't hear that man laugh, not even a chuckle. But anyways, in the beginning, it was all rainbows and butterflies. We all got along pretty well, but especially John and Chris. They were like brothers. Nothing really stuck out as problematic at the time, but halfway through the football season, I decided to go to my first tailgate. Chris had some friends who had their own tent and some coolers and games, and everyone was having a blast. We were taking jello shots and playing beer pong. It seemed like a new bromance was on the horizon. An hour goes by, and I'm pretty tipsy, but Chris was completely trashed. Chris's friends start packing up and gave him to me and said, "Alright, you got him now. See ya." Just like that, left him alone with me, not even showing the slightest care in the world for their friend. Now, I'm no Olympian, but I can lift, you know? I got some strength. But I'm not lifting this boulder of a dude the entire way back to the dorm, so I kind of sling him around my shoulder and we make our way back. He was flirting with every girl and dapping up every dude as we passed by. I guess he was pretty popular around campus. We kept on walking by, and we passed by a group of black women. Something happened. To this day, I still don't know what he said. I think he tried to make some type of move, and it just crashed and burned. Then this man, who I've been living with for a couple months, the one who hangs out with John day in and day out, he goes, "You see, man, that's the problem with these people." I mean, holy shit. We reached back to our dorm and drop his ass in the room. Boom. I am done with him. I go back to my room and get on my phone, and I try to distract myself from thinking about what I just heard. About 30 minutes went by, and I heard some rumblings, some murmuring outside my door, and I looked out. Chris and John were standing outside my door having a heated discussion. Chris is getting into it more and more, just saying stuff with an angry, joking tone. Then Chris opens his big fat mouth and decides to say, "You're being such a..." You know what word I'm talking about. The one where white people think they have the authority to say it. The worst part is he kept going, dropping the N-word left and right. John yelled at him and said, "Yo, if you keep saying that, I'm gonna have to do something." Chris kept going. "Yo, you gotta stop." They kept going. They kept getting closer and closer, more and more heated. Then John pushed Chris, and Chris pushed back. John got a hold of Chris and got him right in the face. They scrambled for a bit, and I tried to get in the middle to pull them apart, because there's no way I'm letting John get in trouble. But they're both big dudes, so they're throwing around like 450 pounds of muscle combined. Serious Dave popped out of nowhere, and he pulled them apart. They finally separated. I got my lip busted, so now I'm spitting out blood. John is pissed, and rightfully so. Something white on the floor catches my eye, and I look up and Chris is missing half of his 2 front teeth. Chris starts crying, but he starts getting even more into it. He goes on to say, "Oh, I'm gonna call the cops, and you're gonna go to jail. And they'll believe me because I'm white, and you'll be arrested because you're not." Again, I'm frozen. I have no way to handle this, because what do you do after a dude says all that? But at this point, the fight's already over. John's not giving in to Chris's bullshit. It's starting to calm down more and more, and Chris starts apologizing. After that, Chris tried to rebuild his bromance with John. They hung out, but it was never really the same. Chris ended up leaving in fall because he failed a bunch of classes, and yeah, karma's a bitch. You really don't know who you're living with, so I suggest you listen to everything your roommates say. You might catch something that you didn't notice before.